É peito a bater, é vulcão que não apaga. É rir à mesa e ter um lugar vazio. É mar à volta e sentir falta de casa. Saudade, essa mania de ficar, mesmo quando tudo já passou. É dizer já foi com o olho a marejar. É a ilha que leva, mas nunca levou. Saudade é torada a corda. É...
Welcome everybody to another episode of Saudade Generation Tuga. Today we'd like to welcome to the podcast a good friend of mine. He's our first invitee from the capital region, Ottawa, Gatineau, what we used to call Hull. Jason Bettencourt, welcome to the podcast.
So happy to be here, Michael. Nice to see you. It's been so long.
Yeah, it's been a while. We used to see each other more often. I used to go down to Hull a lot back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But life, family, everything happens so fast.
A lot changes. Yeah.
Yeah, and time flies, man. Time flies. But let's get into this conversation because I think people are going to want to know how it is growing up Portuguese, Açorian in Gatineau, the Hull region. Tell us a bit growing up. Well, first of all, introduce yourself, Jason Bettencourt, and your parents, where they're from, and the Azores and everything.
So my mom is from Terceira, Praia da Vitória, and my dad's actually born here in Hull. Well, here in Hull, Gatineau now. But the family comes from São Jorge Veles.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah. But
we're... There's not many people from São Jorge in Canada, but when I lived in California, I met a whole lot of people from São Jorge. And São Jorge, for me, in my personal opinion, is the closest. The people are the closest to the Terceira. So yes, it's like the same thing.
here in Ottawa, like como São Cristo in Ottawa, São Cristo.
Yes,
there's a lot of São Jorge people there. But the other communities in Gatineau, it's more like São Miguel people.
Yeah.
But in Ottawa, there's a lot of São Jorge, a lot of Terceira also. So yeah, we're still around. We're still around.
Yeah, we're still around. So tell us a bit, how was it growing up Açorian Portuguese in Gatineau, Hull region?
A lot of time with my grandparents learning the language. I'm the only one in both families that actually knows how to speak Portuguese fluently, which is sad, I find. But yeah, I was brought up. I was the first one in both families, and and a lot of hanging out with my grandparents, both sides, going to as festas, matanças de porco, all of that I knew, and that's a tradition. It's like it stays in your blood, even up to today. Now I'm teaching my daughters about these traditions, and even them, they love it. They love it.
Yeah. It's important. I think it's important to show, because we are who we are because of how we got brought up
exactly.
in those traditions, in that culture. So we'd like our children to continue in that way. What was the first like cultural thing that you saw? I know you were involved. We're going to get to later in the conversation. Involved a lot in music. Music could be, I could say, is your passion, right?
It is. It always will be. Always will be.
But growing up culturally, like, what was the first thing that marked you of being a Açorian, that you're like, oh yeah, this is cool?
It's really as festas, the food, like even as matança de porco. A lot of people don't understand that it's part of our culture, our tradition. It's not really being abusive to animals. Well, it's a little bit, but it's not worse than going and hunting a deer once a year like we do. But unfortunately, that stopped for us. There's still the festa, but you don't have that going to the farm with the older guys, But yeah, if there's one festa or something that really marked me, was really, since I was young, a matança de porco was really something that at the beginning was very odd to me, to go see the way they killed a pig. Like the first time I got traumatized. But you get brought up in that. My grandfather back in the day in Hull used to do that in his garage. It was part of it was a big party, accordions coming out, and yeah.
Yeah, because this tradition, what we know it as the Festa de Matança de Porco here in California, in Toronto, wherever you are in the diaspora, you know about the Festa de Matança de Porco. But that wasn't only back home. It wasn't a festa, like, you know, they wouldn't do a party and rent a hall and do a party. It's like you just explained. They would go get a pig, they would kill it. Draw the blood, make the blood and in the garage or in the backyard. Have the friends. The friends were there not to eat. The friends were there to help you out, cut up the pork and everything. You'd have a beer.
Oh my God! I have children. I have.
That's what it was. It wasn't. It's not just about feeding yourself and eating food. It's about being together. É o convívio, estar com os amigos, estar com a família. The time spent.
Também com os imigrantes, you know, for one time or two times a year, that would fill up your freezer for the whole family. So it.
Oh yes.
So I understand. It's the same as the Quebec people that go hunting. Well, that's your for some months for the harder months. So yeah. And so you, a lot of these festas you were growing up, you were more part of the Santa Bernadette association growing up. Since I was a young kid, it's 3 years old, as long as I can remember, sleeping under two chairs when my parents were dancing. It was at the Centre Amigos Unidos, because Santa Bernadette didn't exist. So in the 90s, like the older generation would know more about this, but in the 90s they did like a split up. And my grandparents went to St. Burns, my parents, so I just went along with my family. But
Okay, but you're bringing me into a good subject here, because that split happened when we were young, right? You were young. You were very young. And how was it as a young? How old were you? Do you remember how old were you about when? I
was in the 90s, so I was maybe, I'd say 12, 13 years old, 14 years old, something like that, around there.
So you were old enough to remember this thing. So how was it as a young almost teenager to like? Be in a moment. This is your place. You'd spend your weekends every weekend at, and then all of a sudden we shifted. So how was that as a kid living that?
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't remember that part, because I was so young when I used to go to the center, and then my parents had like a stop of going to these feasts, and when they started back, we went to Santa Bernadette, and that's where I met my friends, and that's where I met you guys. But mind you, when that started, if you were like the older generation, I saw some of my friends get slapped because they went to the center and you're from St. Burns. It was really like a war. Nowadays you go, everyone goes everywhere. So it's done, you know, that war. But at the beginning it was really like, it's either you're that part or you're this part.
And that gets I hear you a lot, and that gets to me a lot, because we lived a similar thing, except us, it was more in the beginning of the 80s that we lived that separation. We were what became Hochelaga. We were one group, and then we split into the older generation, politics. You know how the older generation where I don't have to, and everybody listening, I'm sure, knows how the older generation are with their politics. So I know what it is. And us, not like nowadays, and growing up, we wouldn't care. We had, wouldn't go. I remember going to St. Burns and like sometimes going to the canal, and then down the other side of the street is on the other side of the canal is Amigos Unidos. Hey, let's go check that out. I hear music over there. Go check that out. See some.
It's not only that. Outside of the Portuguese feasts, we made friends. So some friends you'd go to Unidos. Some friends would go to Santa Bernadette. But some days there's two festas, one at Santa Bernadette and one at Unidos. Nowadays they respect that because everything's so they all have one weekend. Let's say they won't do a feast
on the same day.
Weekend, so people can go. But back then it was one feast, so I'd leave and I'd go to Unidos, which is you cross the street practically. Go see my friends and come back. But a lot of older Portuguese dads of my friends I already saw get slapped because you went over there, and that was unnecessary. But like I said, I don't know the details of how that happened. The referendum.
Exactly. I remember getting shit sometimes, when I was 17, 18, starting to more be independent, go with my friends different places. And I remember going to Ville and my grandfather or my grandmother saying, why'd you go there? Why'd you go there? Hey, that's where we were. That's where everybody was going. That's where I went. It didn't seem like a big me. But that I remember going to St. Burns with a dance or bailing, whatever, and having to dance at the same night at St. Burns, and then after at Amig Junich too.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
They used to do like competition. We'll do the same day, the same feasts.
Yeah.
But yeah, that time changed. Thank God. Like
Thank God.
Everyone's more like friendlier. Everyone goes to different. They even did this year for a fundraiser for Lisboa. There was a big water destruction there in Lisboa this year. They did a fundraiser. All Portuguese communities, all 4, at Amigos Unidos, and everyone was there. That was beautiful to see, to raise money for a good cause. So that's what that's the main thing, you know.
That deserves a round of applause here. That deserves a round of applause. That's what we want to see more in the community.
Exactly.
Because that's what we need. Because sometimes I used to think out loud and thinking, maybe there's too many associations, too many organizations, but there's space for everybody as long as everybody 100%. Can work together.
100%.
I think if everybody can work together, there's space for everybody.
And look at what they just did. The first time ever, all 4 communities, Sant Cristo, Lusitania, Amigos Unidos, and Santa Bernadette, all in the same place. Everyone from all the communities together, and they raised so much money to help Lisboa. So, like it or not, we're all Portuguese. Why be in conflict? It's all for the same thing.
Yeah. I think they brought that mentality, I guess, from back home. That sports mentality, or that politics mentality, or that even religion mentality, even though in Portugal it's mostly one religion, but it's that thing that what's ours, we got to stick to it. We got to, be open-minded. There's other people that might think differently, but that doesn't make them bad people.
With the new generations that are coming, I think it's going to get better and better, you know?
Yeah.
It's going to get better and better, and that's going to just be like a past, it's already starting to be like just a past memory. But yeah, it did happen, that referendum or whatever, that separation. Exactly why, I'm not sure, but yeah, it was ugly. You know, it was ugly.
It was. So growing up, going to St. Burns. Once you're in St. Burns, when did you know music was going to be what you wanted to do in this community?
Well, at 5 years old, I was in love with Jorge Freire. You know, that was my first. Like, if you tell me why are you playing Portuguese music, well, that's my first. Him and Roberto Leal.
Could we say those are your 2 biggest influences? Musically?
No, my first big influence is my dad.
Okay.
My dad.
Your dad is a percussions guy too, or?
Yeah, drummer.
Yeah.
Drummer. Since I was young, I used to go to his practices. He used to play in bands with Armandino. You know Armandino?
Of course, yes.
Yeah, he used to play in bands, and I used to, Armandino had a Portuguese store, like a.
Yeah, I remember.
All Portuguese used to go there, and beside he had this place to rent movies. And at night, they used to practice there. And I'd go there and see my dad practice playing the drums. And I know all the songs. I was like a young punk, 6, 7 years old. And then we moved because we were in an apartment while my dad was building his house. So I didn't know, like, I knew he played the drums, but after so many years, you like forget, I guess. So when we moved into the house, then I saw his drum kit. And the first thing I did is set it up all crooked. I didn't know what the hell it was. I was 11 years old when I started banging the drums, and and then when it started with St. Burns, I was getting better. I was about, I'd say 14, 15 years old. I was good at drums, you know. I was like, at my high school, I was the best at my high school, you know. So they asked me to play Os Olhos da Minha Mãe with these older guys in live for O Dia das Mães.
Yes.
So I go, and I really wanted to show, like, hey, 15 years old, I wanted to show what I could do. But I got there and it was too complicated for me. You know, I couldn't do it. So my dad took over. And from there in 94, something like that, he started the band with the guys that were jamming. Started the band. And from there, I used to be at every practice sitting beside him and just watching what my dad was doing on those drums, and come home and practice for hours, the same thing over and over until I get it.
So you're a strong believer in nothing comes to you easily, that you have to practice. So whatever you do in life, you have to work it.
Oh my Lord, especially for the young kids. I tell my daughter, she wants to start she's starting piano, my oldest, wants to start guitar. And I said, don't think you're going to be starting playing music like songs right away. It takes a lot of practice, a lot of like, you're not good at it, but you're still not good at it the next day, and you're still not good at it the next day until you get good at it. It takes years and years. Yeah.
And if you'd have advice to give to somebody that, like you just said, because that's what it is, man, and everything in life is you don't see the progress right away, but you keep doing it, and then once you see it, you'll be satisfied. And what's your advice for somebody that's maybe not seeing it now, that's listening to this and seeing and working at something, whatever it is, at singing or playing the drums or playing clarinet or playing saxophone, that's practicing but is not seeing the progress? What can you tell these kids to continue, and it's gonna end up showing up?
It can be just one note. Until you get that note perfectly, continue, because one day it's going to come out. And mind you, if it wouldn't be for music, with the people when I was younger, where Vieux Hall, back in the days there, it was a rough neighborhood. And if I wouldn't have had those drums and my dad saying, because my mom would say, hey, c'est ton barou, la, la, la. And my dad said, as long as there's noise, we know where he is. And I was in my small room. I could have been doing something else in the streets, But
that's totally true.
It will become discouraging at the beginning, but hard work pays off.
Yeah,
hard work pays off, especially music, with anything, but with music, it's not something that you can just pick up. No, it's over and over, trying over and practicing, and you do the same thing 700 times until you get it.
Yeah, repetition is key. Repetition,
practice, and then keep to it. Just don't quit when something gets hard.
Yeah, nicely said there. So when did all this, you're falling in love with music, you've seen your father play, and he forms a band. So when do you think, I want to form my own band? And when did Caravana start working in your head?
Well, before that, at 15 years old, I got my first drum set. I was working in cleaning at $6.85 an hour. So I'd go to school in the day, take the bus, go work 4 hours a night, from Monday to Friday. From, I don't know, 5 till 10 or something like that, or 5 till 9, something like that. And I'd receive $285 clear every 2 weeks. Wow. For us today, it's pennies. I was living at my parents. I had nothing to pay. So I kept that money until I bought my first drum set. You remember my Pearl drum set? I still have it.
Yeah.
Still have it. It's all broken down, but just for the meaning.
Of course.
Then I started
the sentimental value.
Yeah, exactly. So I started a band. The first band was called Beira-Mar. Conjunto Beira-Mar. We were 4 guys, 15 years old, just playing a La Bamba, Twist again, a couple of Portuguese. We'd open up for Rapsodia, which was my dad's band. And then Rapsodia, which was my dad's band, they ended up splitting up. And me, without a band, I decided to rent out their studio. It was $100 a month. So I tell the guy, so it's empty. Can I have it for $100 a month? He's like, yeah, it's empty. So I brought my drum set there, and slowly I started talking to people. So we were 4 Caravana. The first band was 4 guys, and just trying out what we're doing,
And you rented out I have to be clear on this. You rented out the studio before having bandmates.
Yeah,
that's amazing. That's amazing. And you know why you did that? Because you knew exactly,
yeah.
And because you knew you wanted to be in the band, and you knew 100%. That no matter what, you were going to be in the band. So the first step, if this studio was available, you were going to get the studio, because the band was going to come no matter what.
One day or another. Of course, before having the band, I used to throw parties. It was my chill place. Yeah, I think you've already been to a couple of my parties, but anyway. But I took that $100 a month, everything included, and then we got a band, and we were 4, so it was $25 a month each, and we lasted there a long time, man, long time. But we didn't have the name. We didn't have the name yet.
Oh.
We didn't have the name. Yeah. So
how did the name come up?
So I went to Toronto for a Caribana. It's with an I, Caribana weekend. Yeah. And I'm like, man, what does that mean? What does that mean? And it means a whole bunch of different kinds of music together, like a big mix of that's what we do.
Oh.
So when I came back, I said, in Portuguese, instead of Caribana, why don't we call it Conjunto Musical Caravana? And from there, man, everyone liked it. And man, 26 years later, it's still doing,
Yeah, you see how that thought process works, man?
It's crazy without knowing that today I'd still be talking about it,
Yeah, and it's still, I think it's part of your identity now, that name.
I even bought the.
You have the trademark?
Yeah, the trademark. The name is mine. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's your band now. It's your DJ. Now it's your thing. But it's been part of your life for so long that you see it's part of you. When you hear, let's say if you're just, we don't take the bus or the metro anymore. But let's say you're just sitting at the park and you hear somebody and you hear something that sounds like Carabana, you're gonna turn around. You're gonna go, oh, that's me.
Where's Jace?
Yeah, Jace. And how was it playing in the community? How was it? You guys had a lot of gigs, or you guys had to work for gigs, or people just started calling you, hey, you want to come play for us?
It started really bad. The first gig. So there was a band from Montreal coming down, because I have a lot of friends, musicians from Montreal. Shout out to them, everyone. Which they showed me so much, like what I knew. First of all, I have to say Request. The band Request, Jimmy, David Gomez on guitar. When I saw that band play, Tony on bass, Victor on piano. I think it was Nelson, because I knew there was different requests, different members. I think it was
Nelson and then Johnny later.
Yeah, Johnny was later with Brian on trumpet and all that.
Yeah,
but when I saw that band, because I was listening to my dad, and like it or not, they were like more older generation.
And one step.
And I was we were following that, what we knew, and we were playing good, like more tighter, more breaks, like different. When I saw Request and Jimmy jump on that stage, and I'm like, oh my God, we have to do something like this. That's what a band is. And then, I can say, from the bottom of my heart, that was one of my someone that they showed me a lot. Without showing me, they showed me a lot.
Yeah.
And then one year there was a band also, Reflex, which Dorval was the bass player.
Yeah, Tony's brother.
And we were friends, and they're like, oh, your whole band's here. We were at St. Burns, not our gig. We never played yet. We go on stage, and we 7 times, and we walked out. We couldn't play the song. We couldn't. We started 7 times. I'm like, oh my lord. But when we got the groove, I guess it was stage jitters, or we were nervous. Should have stayed home instead of going out. It's part of.
But it took that one time. So the second time would be better, and the third time would be better, and the fourth time would be better.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. It was like a kick in the face, saying, "Oh, we thought we were good. We in practice we're good, but look in front of people, we started it humbled us. It humbled us.
Exactly.
And that's when we became okay, let's take this more serious, and and from there, since 2000, bang, it lasted until COVID, man.
Yeah, all those years of playing in the band and because it's not only playing in the band. I know Brian made me lighten up to this, that the easy part is playing and practicing.
That's
the hard part. Yeah, that's the fun part.
Yeah.
The hard part is getting the gigs and doing the performances, being at how can I say this, for the performance being at the height of what your client or the organization wants. So, and all these years, tell me what's the best and what's the worst of being in a band in the Portuguese community?
The best, I'd say, is to make those people dance. That's my high, to see those people have fun. The worst is, sorry, but it's to deal with these Portuguese communities. I know they're not rich and stuff like that, but they don't think, it's so sad that now I'm doing DJ because I still love music. I'm doing DJ and I'm making more now. Just with, it's a lot less work. Mind you, we're still practice to do it. A lot less work, and I'm making way more money. That's not normal.
No, yeah.
With the band, you start on the Friday, packing up from your house, putting everything in sound check all day, play all night, and the next day bring everything back, set up. It's a lot of work. And I'm telling you, the most money we'd make, it's at a gig, would maybe $100 each, split it in 5 or 6 guys, because we had to pay the equipment, we had to pay the sound man. So it wasn't really for money. But it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's tough to deal with the Portuguese community when it comes to that.
The politics of it. Politics.
It's the politics. They don't want to pay. They always want for freebies and stuff like that. And sometimes you just can't. You can't. After 6 months, paying this rent every. You have to make a little bit.
Yeah, of course. I hear you. And I agree with you 100%. And I think I've spoken about this already. And some people, yeah, I guess it's the DJs are at the end of the day. You make more money because you're alone, but they're not that much. They're not that much cheaper than bringing a band. Like,
Well,
okay,
a band when I was still playing, we were charging $900.
Oh, you see,
Split that. Okay, so take out $500.
Yeah,
for equipment and sound man.
So
you're left with $400. Split it by 5 or 6. Because at the end we were 5 or 6 at Caravana.
Yeah. So nobody's doing that. Yeah, it's nothing. You're not doing that for money. That's for sure. You're doing that for passion and to serve your community. And now we see it's not only in Hull, it's not only in Montreal, it's not only in Toronto, it's everywhere. Well, actually, California, there's still a lot of Portuguese bands. To be clear, but sometimes I think about it and I'm thinking about like why because it's so even at weddings, like I always say this, I go, why do it's so much funner to have a band on stage?
Oh my god, it's so the ambience is different, like it's completely different,
and it's nothing to take away from DJs, not taking nothing away from DJs.
No, but it's
different
not experience.
Like
DJ, I'm a good DJ. I'm getting there. I'm very occupied now, like booked. Mind you, it's not all Portuguese communities. I've got a lot of weddings, like French communities, proms, stuff like that. But for me, I didn't learn that song. You know what I mean? I'll mix it. I'll do the transition. I'll put songs. I'll animate. You guys are gonna have fun. But for me, having a band is that we learn the song. Yeah, you know, from A to Z. It's like it's different. It's a different vibe, you know.
It's a different vibe for now that you said that makes me realize it's not only a different vibe for the people watching. It's a different vibe for you on stage 100%, also.
100%. And now, I started alone doing DJ, and now I got a partner. Which, man, I'm telling you, perfect recipe. Me and Nuno. So he has his style. I've got my style, and like that, hey, he can go on break. I continue. Then I go on break. He continues, and you're not alone up there, you know. If something goes wrong, at least you're 2 guys and you'll laugh about it. When you're alone, and that's what's good about being in a band. If you, sorry my language, F up, well, you look at each other, we're a team. We just laugh about it and continue, man. That's true. When you're alone up there, hey,
you're stuck with your thoughts. Yeah,
you're stuck, and you're stuck, and you're like, oh man, what's next? And it's a bit stressful when you're alone. But now I've got the perfect recipe for Caravana right now, which was a band, but now it's a DJ. But I'm still doing music, man.
Yeah, and you go all over the Portuguese community in Gatineau, Ottawa region, and how did the community receive this transition, this new Caravana?
Well, that's why I kept the name. That's why I kept the name, because I didn't know that this was going to go with the English people and the Quebec people, and I thought it was I'm going to do this like the band, so I called it Caravana so that they knew who it was. And it started like that, and mouth to ear, and hey, got a wedding, got 2 weddings, 3 weddings, and today I'm booked till 2027, bro.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I'm doing good.
And this, you mentioned the pandemic before. Did the pandemic help you go into DJing? Or did it just something that came? You had no choice. Okay, explain that.
I had no choice. We were practicing. We were even doing during pandemic. I'm sorry for the people that are crazy of pandemic, but we were hiding like in a garage. We weren't supposed to see each other, but we were still practicing until the cops came, and that's it, man. And I had all the equipment, because the equipment was mine. It was all in my garage, and I'm like, I was thinking about doing DJ, but it's not the same as a band. You know, I want to be with the boys up there, but. Man, reality hit, and the bands were dying and dying and dying. And I said, let's start this and see where it goes. And that's where I am now, man.
Yeah, and everything happens for a reason. I strongly believe in that. So I think that was going to happen one way or another. And I think you're in the right place right now. And where do you see Caravana in the next 5-10 years?
Me, I just want to be having fun. I'm a dad now, you know.
Yeah.
If you'd asked me that at 18 years old when I had the band, I'm like, I'm gonna go play like even Georges Freire, where we still talk to each other. We played Summerfest with the band in 2005, and the same stage as him. He brought us out. He showed us so many things, and he asked us, "You guys want to come over to my house to Fall River and record your CD?" Of course we want. Of course. How much? $10,000 American. Well, we couldn't afford that at 17, 18 years old,
No
but
kidding,
me and my head, a superstar, like everyone. But today, if I can make a little bit of money for my family and have fun and make people dance, I hope I'm still there in 10 years. But in 10 years, I'm gonna start being a bit older. We'll see.
Would you like to? Well, first of all, have you gone back to the Azores? I think you vacationed there, no?
I was 4 years old.
The last time?
4 years old. Last time.
Wow.
I've never been back because when I was a teenager, a young punk, my parents offered me so many times to go. No, I want to stay with my friends. And today, with a family of 5, it's a bit more difficult to go. And you don't just go 1 week to the
No.
3 weeks,
Especially with a family, yeah.
One day, I'd love for my daughters, to walk the streets of Terceira and São Jorge with my dad said, hey, that's where we used to play. That's the park. Or my mom, that was the school where I'd love that.
Yeah. But anything you want in life, you could do. Even if it's you put away $5 a week in 4 years, maybe you'll have enough to go.
That, bro,
I wish you that. And what would you like to? What about performing as a DJ in one of the festas, Festa da Praia, which your mom is from?
Listen, my big, like you said, when I was young, I wanted to be a superstar. My biggest dream was to do a gig in the Azores, somewhere in the Azores, doing a festa or whatever. Because I've seen the festas here in Canada, and people that go to the Azores say it's like completely different,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, to DJ there, even when I go to the South, I always DJ like Republic Dominican, Mexico. I always go. I talk to the DJ. Hey, you let me do a little bit, and I bring up people. So I know I'll be able to do it. But how do you get that gig? Who knows? Maybe one day.
Yeah. Maybe one day. Maybe when I'm living there, I'll have you come up and.
Even if it's in your garage, man. That's it, man. Have a small party, have a beer. Yeah, I'd be happy with it.
And I've been to Gatineau recently. Not as much as I used to go when I was a kid, but I always thought like Gatineau was because it's a small community, right? Portuguese. I'm talking about Portuguese. It's a small community, and sometimes I had a feeling like it's they don't show their Portuguese side enough. I don't know if I'm explaining myself correctly. Not that I don't think they're, but it's like the younger generation. Like I see that a lot. I see in Montreal too. I see that in Montreal too. Something I don't see in California and Toronto. I see it in Montreal too. And I don't know if it's like now when I go, I see it's like. It's not the fuck. I'm trying to say this in a way where everybody's gonna understand and not take it the wrong way. But
exactly,
it's like it's not the fun uptaking. Like when I go, everybody's. I don't know. Is it because people are older? Maybe it's because people are older and I'm older.
Well,
and
I think I know where you're going with this. Like our generation, I still go to the festas. You still go to the festas. I'm actually building a team of younger people like our age to do one festa for St. Burns to raise money for a good cause. We're still on the talks for that. But my old gang that like people of my age, they don't bring their kids anymore. They just
that's it. That's what I wanted to get to. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't like I do it. Some still do it, but I'd see if everyone like back in the day, all our friends today have kids. If they would bring their kids today, the community would be so much stronger. But like I said, everyone has life. There's hockey tournaments, there's soccer in the summer, there's cottages in the winter. A lot of people want to go to the South. They lost that time. But I find it really important to show my three daughters that's where daddy comes from, and that's what we know, and that every weekend party.
yeah. How could that not be fun? Because I understand, and you're absolutely right. Life moves fast, and nowadays it's a bit different than when we were kids. When we were kids, my parents, I didn't play every sport, so I had to choose one sport. So it was soccer, right? So I knew in the summer I had soccer. but they couldn't afford me to put me in hockey in the winter also. So all winter, every weekend, I would be at the feasts. But now every kid has everything. Some have tennis, some have soccer, some have volleyball, some have this, have karate, have swimming, have everything. So there's no more time, and it's hard to find time.
I have a question for you now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a question for you.
Do
you regret that, though? Do you regret that?
No,
man, I don't regret not playing hockey or not playing whatever and going to the fashions, because that's part of my identity right now. It's part of it. I love it. Up to today, I still love it.
Absolutely. And I know it's hard because the kids, they go to hockey, they have friends, right? And they want to be with their friends when their parents, it's like you're taking them away from their friends, right? Or we're going to take them to the Portuguese feast, but they haven't been to the Portuguese feast.
They have friends there also.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So you make friends there, and you have new friends. I had my school friends, I had my street friends, and I had my Portuguese friends.
Me too. Same thing.
So I think it's possible to get, but it's just you have to find the time. And I know it's hard to find the time, and it passes by so fast. Sometimes you look at
most parents like my age that like have young kids, they think, oh, I'm a festa with 3 kids, But I'm telling you, they go there and they can't get lost because no one's going to hurt them. If they're doing something, they'll come and see the parents. They'll make friends there. I find it's an excellent place to bring kids.
Yeah.
You see old friends, you talk, you shoot the shit. Your kids are having fun, and you're helping the community. And
your kids are seeing what you're doing in the community, what the community is doing. They're seeing these things. They're even though they might not enjoy it or like it, but they're seeing it. They know it's part of their life, and it's something, and it's an acquired taste. Sometimes they're like, oh, they didn't see it, but then they laughed. Oh, this was fun this time, and then the next time they're more open to it, and that's what it is in life. And
even last weekend, asked me if I want to go in the procession. Sorry, I'd say, oh no. I asked them because they asked if my daughters want to go in the procession. Hey, you guys want to go in the parade? For they call it La Portugaise, La Fête Portugaise. That's what they call it. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. They wanted to go. They were there and they were happy to be there, and that's part of our tradition. Yeah.
And us we hated going in the procession.
It was forced.
Aquelas meias brancas com os buracos dentro. You'd see all our fat flap over the socks there because they were so tight. Yeah. But it's true because I noticed it in my friends' kids also, that as soon as we ask them, oh, you want to go in the parade, or you want to go in the procession, or you want to go in Bailing? Yes, I want to go with you guys.
Yeah,
so sometimes all you have to do is bring them, and they'll enjoy.
If we don't show our kids like that, one day we won't have any more festas Portuguese. Like no one's gonna go. Like it or not, the older generation is slowly going. Like my grandparents are gone. Then life is life. Exactly. So we have to continue that. We have to continue. Well, I find it very important to at least try and continue that.
Yes, because it's our culture, it's our identity, it's who we are. Or else we're just one parmi tant d'autres. We're just one in a group of people. We're just that group of people. At least if we, hey, look at that guy. That's how Portuguese are. That's their it's such a beautiful culture. I love it when I hear somebody tell me, hey, you're Portuguese. Hey, you guys have such a beautiful culture. Fuck, it makes me feel proud to be Portuguese. Yeah.
And even my oldest daughter, which is in high school, what are you guys doing on the weekend? Talking to her friends. Oh, I'm going here. Oh, nothing much. And her, most of the time, I'm going to a Portuguese party. And she told me, Daddy, like none of my friends have these parties. Like it's really like it's different for them. And it's not like you're bringing them to a bar,
Yeah.
You're bringing them to a good place, that good people, family, like it's a family gathering. You laugh, you dance, you pass a nice night there.
Yeah, and we'd like to see more activities, and that's what I was trying to say before. As I see less young people in the festas there and here in Montreal, and now maybe the ones that are our age, like in the 40s, and that have kids that are 10.
25, bro.
Yeah, I wish too. Hey, but they do say 40 is the new 30, so maybe it's the new 35.
There you go.
but yeah, like now we see that we start saying, hey, because we start seeing our parents and our grandparents sadly having to leave this earth, and we're seeing that the younger generation aren't getting involved, and now we're starting to see the clock tick, and hey, this thing is going to end. There's going to be no more of this. So now we gotta teach our kids that this is important, so they can teach their kids that it's important.
And that's what I'm working for, 100%. 100% that one day, hopefully that when they have kids, that they'll still like to go to and bring their kids and sleep under those chairs, because my kids do that. They're tired. Yeah. They'll sleep on chairs like we used to do when we were young.
Oh, I see sometimes some parents say, we're going to go home. The kids are tired. And you're like, what? Right, the Canadians are leaving, man. I slept in Canadians until 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and I would hear my father singing and playing panday, and me, I'm sleeping on 4 chairs or trying to sleep on 4 chairs. And now it's 10:30. Oh, we're gonna go home. The kids are tired.
I know, but what great memories! What great memories! Like you tell someone that's not used to that. Oh yeah, my kids slept on 2 chairs while the music was banging while I was dancing. They're gonna go, what?
Like, oh my God, really it's child abuse.
Exactly. It's part of being Portuguese. Yeah.
Amazing. And how now and today, 2026, what does it mean to be a Saurian in Gatineau? What do you think it means? Not what does it mean to you, but what do you think it means in general to be a Portuguese? Like what do Portuguese bring to the table to the Gatineau whole region?
I think it's respect and hard work, the hardworking people. Even when we do those parades, no one complains because they know it's Portuguese people. Like they're respectful. I'm proud to be Portuguese. 2026, 2027, whatever. I'm always going to be proud to be Portuguese. Always, because we're a different breed, man. We're a different breed. We work hard, we play hard. And like me and you, how long do we know each other?
Oh, good. I'm 43. I'm 43, so at least 25 years, at least.
Almost there, yeah. Almost 25. It's not 25. And
I was a teenager when
Portuguese is loyalty, like amigo pra vida. So yeah, man, that's what it means to be Portuguese to me. And
I could say Portuguese. I could say Portuguese. One thing that I like about being Portuguese, because we could talk about things I don't like, not about being. There's everything I like. I like everything about being Portuguese, but some things I don't like about the Portuguese, the way Portuguese are sometimes in criticisms. 100%. But there's one thing the Portuguese are good at, or that are good for, is the Portuguese are going to tell you to your face, are gonna give you shit to your face, are gonna make fun of you to your face, but are gonna defend you in your back.
100%, yeah, exactly.
That's what it is, and that's what it is. Yeah. We'll bust each other's balls. On va se taquiner. We're gonna call you names, but all in fun, only because we only do that to the people we like. We don't joke around and insult people we don't like unless we're screaming and we're telling them to fuck off. But
exactly, but yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah. I understand what you mean.
And I think, and the Portuguese are also they know how to receive people. They know how to receive people.
Oh, yeah.
And, braço abertos, comida em cima da mesa. But when they have, não tem papas na língua. When they have something to say, good or bad, they're going to say it.
Sometimes, but like in any culture, whatever, is always the good and the bad, but I think with being Portuguese, there's more good than bad.
Definitely.
But I understand where you're coming from with that. Yeah, there's a lot of sometimes blah 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 blah, but it goes here, it comes out here. That's it. That's what you have to do.
We got to take the good and the bad. That's what it is.
No choice, man.
I want to before we end this conversation, I want to maybe go outside of the culture a bit, because I know me and you, we've both been on this journey of trying to be healthier and make ourselves healthier, and maybe some people that are watching that maybe are trying to get healthier, and because we're at that age where we gotta be healthy for you, in your case for your daughters, and me because I want to live till I'm 100 and I want to party till I'm 100. So so maybe there's somebody here that's maybe 30 years old and sees that maybe they're going on a health path, maybe that they're going on the wrong path maybe here. And so how did you think that maybe it's better that you try to get a better health? And then I'll tell my story too.
I was going to on my 40 years old, and I was almost 300 pounds, and I have 3 daughters. And I'm like, I don't want these girls to wake up, because I was having problems sleeping, even like not feeling well, like everything I do, I'd be like,
always tired.
Always tired. Like I'd have naps like at 10 in the morning. I'd pass out, doze out. And at 40, before I was 40, I said, I have to do something, because it was a life struggle. Michael, you know me since I'm young. It was losing weight, gaining weight. Losing weight, it's always a yo-yo. So I decided to do the big move, and I did my bariatric surgery. I lost 100 and some pounds. I gained a little bit, because you start living again, but I feel so good. I feel so good. And if anyone at my age, especially, things happen fast. At 40, the rust starts coming out. And that's what I was scared about. I didn't want my daughters to say, my dad at 5 years old died in his bed, So
of course.
That's what I put myself.
I think that's one of a parent's biggest fears, right?
Of course, to leave this earth and say I can't be there to defend my daughters anymore or whatever. And especially if you have the control in your hand, it's not like as if it was being overweight wasn't like having cancer. I have no choice. That I had a choice. So the diets weren't working. So for my 40th birthday, I paid myself in a private doctor. And I got operated, and it was the best decision that I ever did in my life. Today, man, I'm 43, but I feel young still. I feel young. I'm still DJing. I'm playing with my daughters.
How's your energy level since then?
Oh my god! Oh my god! Completely different. It's completely different. I want to go out. I want to do. Before I didn't. Just thinking about it was hot outside. I'd get tired. I'd want to go for a snooze.
I know the feeling.
I lost control. Until I said, no, I have something to live for now. And I took control. That's what you have to do.
Exactly. Over my life. That's the word. That's the word. You got to take control of your life. And to be clear here, because of your hard time going up and down, the surgery was what can give you a clean slate. Okay. But obviously the surgery is not. It's not a miracle.
It's not a miracle pill. Exactly. Yeah.
So you still have to work on yourself. You still have to watch what you eat.
It's a life battle. I went down to 180 pounds, and that, mind you, Michael, for me, I was always like a bigger guy. Even my wife was like, But when because like my stomach is like big like this now. I eat like half a hamburger. I'm full.
You're full.
But like now I started eating bread again. Not much bread. But so I took a bit of weight, but I find I don't look sick, and I don't look overweight. For me, I'm happy the way I am, and I feel great.
Well, you look great. You look great, man. You look great.
Thank you, bro. And you too, man. You look great, man.
Thank you.
If we look at each other pictures back in the day when we were younger, we look older than we look today. Yeah.
Yes. Oh yeah. I went to last year when I went to California. I was just starting on this journey of watching not watching my weight, but trying to have a better health in general. And people were telling me, hey, I hadn't been there in 2013 in 12 years, and people are like, fuck, you look exactly the same. I'm like, yeah, because I just had started on that journey, so I was starting to look like myself again. I wasn't the puffiness. And I'm intrigued about, you just said that you started eating bread again. When you eat bread, because that's something I've given up, is bread, pasta, sugar and salt. Well, sugar and salt were at a different time. I'll get to that. But bread and pasta have been over a year. And when I eat bread sometimes, because, I give into temptation sometimes, I'm only human. Yeah, of course. And it makes me tired. Now, I realize that even just after eating a plate of pasta or after eating some bread, like I love popsicks, just fresh popsicks, man, just the smell of fresh popsicks I want to eat. But I feel bloated and I feel tired. Does that happen to you too?
So right there, your body's telling you that's not good for you, right? Because if you're not feeling well, if you eat a salad, you can eat a salad, or like, mind you, I don't eat salads every day, but if I eat a salad or I eat a Big Mac, well, I can't eat a Big Mac, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of course I'm full in both, but one is going to make me not feel too good, like you said, tired, and it's not good energy. It's not good energy, but but to tell you the truth, like what be fun.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna eat the bread, like the steak. What be fun, so I'm gonna take 1 or 2 bites. I get that feeling, and then I'll eat probably just the inside and leave the bread aside. That's
interesting because I do that with the hot dog too.
Yeah, so you take 1 bite to have like a hot dog, and then the rest you just eat that sauce. Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
And côté. Sorry, guys, if we're mixing in some French. We're so used to talking like this. So, but do you integrate exercise also into your daily?
I don't like exercising. So let's say I work. Or I do something physical like cutting the grass, passing the scraping the snow, whatever it is. I take that as my exercise, but every day I do something. You do
something.
Yes. Unless
so every day I move around something.
Then I'm couch potatoes, and usually I always instead of taking the car to go
to the store or something.
Like the store, I'll walk there. Walk there, come back. So it's little things like that. But to say I go to the gym, no, I don't like exercising. I find it's like, hey, when is this over? That once you're working outside or pouring cement, like I was fit, like for me, that's exercise. And you don't see the hours pass. Oh man, I've been 5 hours like working out, like it or not.
Of course. Yeah. Because I walk every day, an hour and a half, about 10,000 steps a day. And I was talking to my friend the other day, and he's like, oh, I do that every day. I work. I go, how come you do 10,000 steps? It takes me an hour and a half. How do you do that every day I work? He goes, let me show you. And then he showed me his watch, and then he showed me, he does. So it doesn't matter how you get your exercise. It's just getting your exercise.
Just move. Yeah, you have to move.
Because who the fuck likes to exercise? Who likes to go run on the treadmill? Yeah, well, because I'll explain that because they made it a habit, and because once you do it, there's some truth into this. When you do exercise, after you exercise, you feel fucking great. It's before it's to get to the exercise that you don't feel like it because
it's the start and you're like, man.
But once you got 5 minutes going, you're like, hey, it's not that bad.
And you get that sweat, and once you're there, but
you're doing it. But that's what I want to tell people.
Fucking discipline to do it every day, every day.
Exactly. Man. Because if you do it, that's what I'm reading some books now, and they say if you do something repetitively for 65 days in a row,
it becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit.
Yeah,
and it's no longer harder. It's no longer hard to do.
No, it becomes you need to do it, but it's to get through 65 days, Michael.
It's you have to find little victories. That's what I try to do. Every time I go, okay, today I'm going to do seven turns around the track, and then when I do the 7th turn, I go, you know what? I'm going to do one more, and just that one more makes me so much happier.
Yeah.
You did more than you wanted to do. It's
a lot of mental.
All in your head. It's all in your head.
Yeah.
And all these battles that you win these little battles are victories that are gonna help you win the war at the end. And like
at the end of the line, it's gonna show. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Now, before I used to get up, put my alarm for 8:30 because I finish work. I'm home at 3:30 in the morning, and waking up at 8:30 was hard every night. 5 hours only to sleep is hard. Now I don't need the alarm. I wake up and the alarm didn't even go on yet, and I'm automatically thinking about my walk that I'm going to go do in the next 10 minutes. Yeah. What am I going to listen to today? What am I going to do if I have something to say? What am I going to say? What am I going to do?
I'm so happy for you. You look good.
Everything is amazing. Everything is amazing. So that's what I want to tell people, man. These little battles that you win every day are going to make you feel so much better at the end, man. And you guys won't regret it.
It's hard. But it's like I said at the beginning of the podcast, playing an instrument, don't quit.
Yes, continue. Exactly.
And the days that you, and some days like I eat, I'm human. I'm human also.
Yeah.
If there's like a dessert and I eat it, I know that, man, I shouldn't have ate it, but shit happens. Tomorrow's another day. But you cannot quit on yourself. You cannot quit on yourself, especially if it's not like us. It's not like, of course, it's a life battle, ups and downs.
Yes.
Even with an operation. I gain weight, lose weight. It's always a life battle. There's no magic pill, but you can't quit, especially with just weight problem, you have that control in your hands. It's not as if it's a cancer or something like that. Like, hey, I can't do nothing. It's not my fault, you know? So
it's something you have control of. Yeah.
Whoever is listening, if you guys have control, and I'm telling you, you guys are going to feel a lot better after the hard part, you know?
And you won't only feel better physically, because that's guaranteed. You'll feel better physically, but you'll also feel better mentally, because you're going to build confidence in yourself, because you kept the promises to yourself.
Like,
because that's how you build.
When I was like almost 300 pounds, you don't want to go like to the festivals. You're gonna, hey man, they're gonna say I gained weight again. And when you start losing the weight, you want to go back. You want, shit, you're looking good, and that gives you more energy to continue and continue. So
it's that dose of dopamine when somebody tells you, "Hey, man, you're looking good. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." That means everything, man. That means everything. It's that dose of dopamine, and that's how and that's how you build confidence in yourself, by keeping the promises that you made to yourself. So if you promise yourself you're gonna start getting better, or you're gonna start going exercise or taking a walk, or you're gonna start eating more healthier, when you do it, you build confidence, because you're gonna have kept the promise to yourself. So
100%.
That's my advice to anybody out there that wants to better themselves. Awesome, Jay, man, this was an amazing conversation. Look, 55, almost an hour, and it passed like this, man. Yeah. It's amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
And whenever you want to come on again, and you want to have something come on, or you have an idea for the Portuguese community, or something other that, like you said before, an event like the 4 associations coming together for the Lisbon to make money, just hit me up, and we'll come on the podcast, and we'll let everybody know what we're doing here.
So happy to have spoken to you, bro, man. Hey, ça fait
du
bien, bro.
Me too. Hey. Merci, man. Merci pour tout. Thanks a lot, Jason, for coming on. Thank you guys, all of you guys, for following, for watching. Don't forget, please share, please follow, comment, because comment helps the algorithm. Caravana DJ, if you guys need, contact Jason Bettencourt on Facebook, or Caravana on Instagram. He'll be your man to DJ your wedding, your party, your graduation, your Christmas party. Christmas parties are coming up. I don't want to talk about winter yet, but they are the planning. The people that are planning are starting their planning for their Christmas parties now. Call Caravana. It's your DJ for the big feast. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so
everybody. Much. Viva a gente, viva a nossa cultura, e até já.
Portugal, baby.